Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
It's the day before Christmas, and all through the house, you're listening to a brand new episode of New Life Live. Sorry, that didn't rhyme. Santa, I need a new book of rhymes, Santa, maybe a new joke book as well. I'm Brian Perez, and this is like, our 244th episode of New Life Live this year. We bring you new radio shows and podcasts every weekday, even on holidays, even on holiday eves. Thanks for joining us. Licensed professional clinical counselor and president of New Life Ministries, Becky Brown, is here. So is clinical psychologist Dr. Alice Benton. And Alice, what's on your mind to start us off?
Well, given the Christmas Eve timing, I have two invitations for our dear listeners. One is tomorrow, before tearing the paper, would you remember the Savior? And would you turn off your individual screen so you can tune in to your family? It's actually the Christmas gift that I asked for this year, is a one day off screens together. Can we play? Can we hang out with each other? Because a couple stories that I've heard recently, but I've heard them many times over the past couple of years. A wife told me, I think my husband cares more about video games than he does about me. A child said, I think my mom likes Candy Crush more than she likes talking to me. And a husband told me, my wife's obsession with reality TV is leaving me and the kids neglected. And in all these situations, the family members were often side by side, but miles away from each other mentally and emotionally. Time and attention are probably our two greatest ways to show love, both to God and to other people. And those are our two highest callings. Time and attention are our non-renewable resources. We can earn more money. We cannot earn back lost time. And so today, tomorrow, over the Christmas break, would you remember the Savior? And would you turn off your individual screen to put time and attention into your family? A couple simple ways to do this. Would you consider reading the nativity story before the wrapping paper starts flying? It always annoys my kids, honestly, but I require it because it's just a small way to keep the meaning real and where it should be. Would you take a walk with your family or play a board game with them? I have asked for Nerf gun bullets as another one of my Christmas gifts because that's the way my boys are most willing to engage with me. So I hope my family's not listening today. I usually want them to listen because the Nerf gun war is coming today.
Prepare, kids, prepare. Becky, what are your thoughts on what Alice just said?
Do you know, isn't it weird that we have to ask for no screens? There was a time where Christmas meant that we were away from all of the regular day-to-day things. And yet now in this day of connection, which is really not connection, is there's nothing that keeps us from going outside of the house. And so I love what you're presenting, Alice. I think it's such a great reminder of why we celebrate Christmas. It is the greatest gift that we've been given in Jesus Christ. And what a difference it makes in our lives. And it's a day to celebrate. I love that.
What about for our friends who live in parts of the world where inclement weather makes it difficult to go outside and take a walk or play with Nerf guns?
No. Listen, you're talking to two Northerners. I mean, she grew up in Minnesota. I grew up in Michigan. We can hang with it, Brian.
That's true. Yeah, I guess that would just be a problem with me because I've never really done anything like that. I really need to enjoy a white Christmas one of these years. Maybe next year. We'll see. Okay. All right, we've got some phone calls coming up here on New Life Live. Thanks so much for joining us today. We can't wait to speak with you. Chris, Robert, Jeremy, all coming up here on New Life Live.
Hello, everybody. It's Becky Brown, and I'm coming to you with an urgent need. There are many people that are in difficult relationships, difficult places in their lives.
How do I navigate through that and not to hurt my son?
We had some generous friends of New Life that started a matching gift, and every gift will be doubled up to $475,000. The matching window closes December 31st, so don't wait. Every moment matters in recovery, healing, and restoration.
I do a lot of work in my local church, and so just being able to hear y'all work through some of these situations really helps me to have some insight on how to help others.
Make your gift today by going to newlife.com, click on Donate, or text the word MATCH to 28950. You can also call us, 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Together, we will bring hope and help to so many more people. And I want to say thank you in advance. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE, or you can text the word MATCH to 28950.
To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
And let's begin our time on the phones on this Christmas Eve with Chris in Boston, who's watching us on YouTube. Hi there, Chris. Welcome to New Life Live.
Hi, thank you so much for taking my call.
Yeah, how can we help you?
Sure. So I am trying to cope with having to go no contact with my elderly parents for a second time. And I'm just trying to navigate through that because there's a lot of, guilt and shame. When it comes to that, you can't really talk about that in church or share that because there's just so many things that go along with that. So I'm just trying to figure out how can I, one, not repeat anything, especially from my mother, onto my adult children, which I've been trying very hard not to do that. Working really hard, not repeating dysfunction and cycles.
Well, Chris, you said that you did it before. Is there a common problem that's just been continuing? Like it just doesn't stop? What is that?
It's just the nonstop verbal abuse from one of my parents, and they never take responsibility. Or when I do confront, it's, Chris, you're overthinking it, or you are just, you're taking this too personally. So there's never any validation. There's never any accountability, or I get, the person, uses God against me when I do try to confront an issue, so I can heal and we can move on and try to figure out how we can go through life together instead of apart. But it's just not possible for me to be in further contact because, I don't really want to say.
Do you live by them? Do you live by them, Chris?
No. We're about 2 hours.
Okay, and so what's your regular sort of connection with them? Do you call once a week? Do you, is it just holidays? What's your interaction?
No, it has been the phone where one of my parents calls on a regular basis, but since the last interaction, I've had to I just can't because the person just makes me want to, I'm ashamed to say it, but, sometimes I feel like I just don't want to be here anymore because the words that are spoken, they're just not life-giving, and the relationship is not life-giving. So I'm just trying to navigate, how
and
what kind of not feel like.
Well, and what kind of counseling or work have you done around this?
I've gone to several counselors in the past before, but nothing's, I don't want to say nothing has helped. I just don't know what to do. There's no tools or anything. So,
well, I want to say,
stuck a little bit.
Well, and I hear that. I hear the stuckness. And I think there's some good things here, Chris. The fact that you don't live next door or across the street, that's a very good thing. And you can also have a lot of control over how the phone conversations go. But more important than anything else, I want for your work with a counselor to be about your own healing so that no matter what they say, if they're allowed to talk with you, it doesn't move you to that place of desperation. A lot of times in parental relationships, I would guess in those cases, Chris, you feel about like you're 8 or 10 years old.
Yes.
Like that you're not the grown woman that you are. And and I want you to have strong internal fortitude when you are connecting with them so that you don't lose who you are, fully grown, fully capable, valued and worthy, so that if you have interaction with mom and dad, it's on your terms. And because what you're saying too is that you're feeling guilty about feeling this way. And guilt indicates that you've done something wrong. I'm not hearing that you've done something wrong, but it can feel counterintuitive to not talk to your parents. And so that's where I would go. I would get focused on what do I need to do to have that secure attachment with myself so that if I choose to communicate with them by phone or in person, I know that I can make a good choice when it's too much for me, or even to the point where if it is too much that I can, know that I'm not going to go to that dark of a place.
Alice?
Chris, I know the difficulty of balancing out how do I honor my parents while protecting my heart from ongoing verbal abuse. And it sounds like it's happened your whole life. There's no recognition and no remorse from your parents. So how do you not repeat this to your children? Just the fact that you're asking means you're on that process of being in your own recovery so that you don't default to your parents' behavior. And I do think we can honor our parents while distancing ourselves from them. And I think that because Matthew 18 tells us if there's chronic unrepentant sin and we warn a person and we bring a witness and it doesn't change, we can take space from them. And if you are informing your adult children about what you're doing and why, that will also help protect your relationship with them. I'd have you consider evaluating your boundaries with another counselor. I think you're kind of weary of therapy not having given you the benefit you wanted it to. Please let us connect you with a counselor from our network with expertise in boundaries. Because when we set a boundary, when we're in the depths of our pain, and if we don't have wise counsel while doing it, it's hard to hit all the right marks that make boundaries healthier and more likely to function well for us. And also by processing the stories of the pain you've been through with your parents, with a clinician, by letting yourself be angry about it, feeling the hurt, and then eventually choosing to forgive with God's help. That protects you and your children from it repeating. A really helpful form of therapy, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, EMDR, can help us get to some of those subconscious beliefs and feelings that can be hard to access in just talk therapy. So if you haven't tried that, let us connect you with one of our counselors who is certified in it.
One more thing is that, Chris, the reason why this is such a weary subject is because, like what Alice just said, this has been going on for your lifetime. And there's a mindset inside of you that, do I still have to do this? Why do I still have to do this? But it will, when you do your healing work, it won't be about your mom and dad. It won't be about how do I get them to do X, Y, and Z? It won't be any of that. You will come to a place of acceptance of they are who they are. I can detach, not in a reactive state, but in I know who I am. I know who they are. I'm really sad that this is, where it is. But I also honor myself enough that I'm going to do the work I need for healing for me. And you actually, believe it or not, you can get to a place where you can love them from a distance and that you can have, conversations that are beneficial for you, but not harmful. And I know that sounds like a pipe dream, but it can happen. I've seen it happen. But I do think your own healing is the primary thing that needs to get worked.
A simple but really difficult boundary to practice is to get to the place where we can say, when these kind of conversations are happening, it does not feel good for you to talk to me that way. Please stop. You're not stopping. Then I'll have to hang up and I will talk to you another time. Because when we can get to that point, and it takes a lot of work and courage and strength to get there, that's when we can stay in some level of contact with people who are unhealthy or toxic without having to cut them out of our lives entirely. And Becky, I'm curious to your opinion on this. I think rarely does God want us to cut our parents off entirely forever. In some extreme cases, it is necessary. But I think he usually wants us to leave some door open, especially if we're the only healthy Christians in their lives. We might be that only influence that draws them back towards sanctification and redemption.
Well, the word does tell us, if at all possible, live at peace with others, right? I mean, that's Becky's translation. But the tricky part about this is the have to relationships, and parents and siblings seem to fall into that role. But, I think the goal of you, Chris, doing your work so that if you can stay in touch with them, it's okay with you. They're not going to be happy with whatever you put out there because they're already demanding something where they're not even aware of how they're impacting you. And that's where you can feel sympathy for them. I'm sad that they don't recognize that they have this amazing daughter that they raised in spite of themselves. But the other part of this, Chris, there's a great thing about our phones. It usually tells you who's calling, and you can decide to let it go to voicemail and do what Alice is talking about. Be in a place where you are able to answer the call. Hey, Mom and Dad, I saw that you called. How you doing? I just have a few minutes, and then, but I just wanted to touch base. When you limit the conversation, you have an opportunity to stay connected, but it's not at their whim whenever they want to talk or whenever they want to complain or whatever they do that has been the rhythm. You have the power to disrupt that rhythm. And it can be easier actually than doing a non-contact. It just, keeping that, that clear communication open.
Now, the example you gave, Alice, about telling someone, you know what, this isn't working for me right now, I'm going to have to hang up or whatever. But then what if they start accusing you of, but see, you're an avoider. You're avoiding me. We need to talk about this. And they just get to the point where you just feel like, okay, fine, let's talk.
I think you consider the source. Is this a healthy, trustworthy source that's accusing me of being an avoider? And we know in this circumstance with Chris, no, they have not been trustworthy and clear-headed people. But when we get an accusation like that of, are you just avoiding? That's good to take and vet with our trustworthy people. Boundaries can look like avoidance because we are determining what I'm willing to be exposed to and what I'm not willing to be exposed to. But it's purposeful, it's well thought out, and it's biblically based. Avoidance is not wanting to even deal with something, with a situation or with an emotion, versus I am dealing with it in this way with my boundaries.
Yeah, it's reactive it's responsive versus reactive. It's making that decision of how you're going to do it. I love that, Alice.
Chris, what do you think of what you've heard?
Yes, it's a lot to take in, and I'll just chew on it. And I will quickly say that I was able to send a card in the mail, and I did say that I was honest and upfront, and I said, I really don't like how our relationship is. And I said, I am taking time to step away and to focus to see what God wants me to do regarding our relationship. And that's how I ended it.
Wow.
And Chris, it can be confusing to your parents without even knowing them. They have no idea because they're not being able to receive what you've already told them. So when you say, I don't like our relationship, and they don't understand because they're not to a place where they have taken responsibility. But I love the steps that you're taking. Remember, it will be helpful to have someone else to talk with about this because we just need other people in our lives. So whether it's a counselor, good friend,
Okay.
All right, Chris.
All right.
Thanks for calling in today. Don't hang up. We're going to send you a resource from the newlife.com store.
Take Your Life
so
Back
many good
would
ones.
be
Yes.
my choice.
Take Your Life Back and many others. Feel free to look through the store there, Chris, and you can make some purchases. There's also some great articles that you can read. And like you said, you're going to take time to chew on all this that you heard. We archive all of our episodes. You'll be able to listen back after the air date.
If you haven't read Boundaries, Chris, that was a life changer, game changer for me.
Yeah.
And that's in our New Life store.
Yes, it is. All right, Chris, God bless you. Merry Christmas. Thank you for calling in today to New Life Live from Boston, Massachusetts. And thanks for watching us on YouTube. There's so many ways to listen to New Life Live nowadays and watch us as well on Facebook and YouTube, NRB TV, Sirius XM Channel 131, and of course, several radio stations all over the country. We are so blessed to have partner radio stations that take our program and every day, and that's how you guys find out about us. You call into the program, you get the help that you need, and we're so grateful for every one of our stations. We've got some more phone calls coming up. Robert and Jeremy and David will get to you when we come back here on New Life Live. Thank you so much for listening and for watching us today on Christmas Eve. We'll be back.
I went to Every Man's Battle in 2012. My sexual integrity was not what it should have been. I sought out affairs, whether physical or emotional. Until I came to Every Man's Battle, I didn't understand that would never fill that void.
Every day, men struggle with sexual integrity. Impure thoughts, strip clubs, affairs, pornography.
The shame and guilt was overwhelming.
For over 20 years, New Life Ministries has been helping men regain their integrity through their one-of-a-kind Every Man's Battle Intensive.
You will discover what the true root of your pain is, and you will discover how to overcome.
You don't have to struggle any longer. Get help in Orange County, California, January 23rd through the 25th. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE to register or to find out more. 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Enter the code NLL for a discount.
Every Man's Battle saved my life.
1-800-NEWLIFE and the discount code NLL.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found life recovery. And one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
David and Robert will talk to you in a moment. Right now we're going to talk to Jeremy in Morristown, Tennessee, listening on WRJZ. Welcome to New Life Live, Jeremy.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hello. What's going
Hello,
on?
can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. How can we help you today?
I was just praying to God and, asking him what he would want me to do with my marriage, I guess.
Okay. How long have you guys been married?
We've been married for almost 2 years.
Okay. And what seems to be the problem?
Well, we just kind of grew apart, and I guess I let my anxiety, stop us from going out as much and not living life. I guess she just kind of got tired of it.
Did she leave, Jeremy?
Yes, ma'am.
What did she say when she left? What does she need from you?
She was just needing me to be more, I guess, outgoing and treat her to nights out and going out to eat and stuff like that.
And do you recognize that that's a change in your relationship, or do you feel like you've always been this way and now it just doesn't work for her anymore?
I've always kind of been this way, and it's just, I guess she's just not really wanting to continue to do that anymore.
How long have you guys been apart?
For almost about 6 months, 6 or 7 months.
Wow.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Jeremy, you've only been married 2 years, so that's a year and a half into it, and this has happened.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Is she seeing someone else?
I'm not really too for sure. We're not really in contact with each other.
Okay. Well, I can say, like, praying is a very good thing. It's, obviously we want to know what God wants for our lives. There are some basic things that you need to take steps towards, and one of those things would be to communicate with her, to find out, does she want to work on the relationship? Would she be willing to see someone to talk about some of the issues and take those steps forward?
Yes, ma'am.
Alice?
Jeremy, do you want to reconcile with her?
Yes, I do.
And do you believe your anxiety is problematic, even apart from her opinion of it?
Yes, it's been a struggle dealing with it for a while.
Do you have some understanding of how it became so extreme that it maybe restricts you to just your home? And how long has it been that severe for you?
It's pretty much a lifelong struggle, and I'm not really for sure why.
And what kind of help are you getting for it?
I'm currently not receiving any kind of help. I actually need a therapist, I think.
I think you're right, Jeremy. I think you're right.
Getting your own assistance might be the best thing for your marriage, even before you reach out to her. So that if you could contact her after you've talked to a therapist, and we can refer you to one in our network, after you've talked to your doctor or psychiatrist, because, Jeremy, there is very effective medication help that can lower anxiety and help you to broaden your life beyond just your home. If you were to call her and say, this is what I'm doing, can we talk about our relationship? Jeremy, being prepared to be humble, knowing that although you've always been this way, it eventually became too hard on her, too weighty for her, and that seems unfair to you. And I think it kind of is, because she married you knowing who you were and how you were. But if you're willing to be empathic and humble, that she needs the healthier version of you, and you do too. God is calling you to a life that is probably beyond just your home. And current day mental health intervention can help you break free.
I think, I'm also thinking, Jeremy, if you've listened to the show, you hear us talk about attachment wounds and styles. And sometimes an avoidant attachment, which is maybe what you will have, it prevents us from connecting in a way that the other person that we're in relationship with feels seen and heard. And it's not because you don't want to. Obviously, you're calling us today because you have a difficult situation with your marriage and you're praying about your marriage. So you have the desire. It's just sometimes we don't know what to do. And working with a therapist can help you in those steps.
Jeremy, I want to commiserate with you because I have my own lifelong struggle with performance and social anxiety. And so when I'm leaving my house, I pretty much never want to. I much prefer to stay all by myself, closed up in my room. That's where I'm most comfortable. And it takes for me a team around me of people that I can say, I'm so scared. I don't want to leave. I don't want to go do this talk. I'm afraid of this work I have to do. And when they pray for me and support me and we converse about it and they love me anyhow, that gives me the courage to move past my anxiety and move out my front door. And we can help you grow that community around you.
Yep. Thanks for calling us today, Jeremy. Stay on hold. We'll send you a copy of the new book, Understanding Your Attachment Style, and we will connect you with a counselor in your area there in Morristown, Tennessee. Thanks for calling in today, and thanks for listening to us on WRJZ. We've got more calls coming up. David and Robert, thank you so much for calling in today to New Life Live. We're going to chat with you guys in just a moment. I'm Brian Perez here with Dr. Alice Benton and Becky Brown. I did not get the memo to wear red today. I shouldn't need a memo. It's the Christmas Eve episode, but
ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, man. Maybe next time. Maybe next year. Maybe I've got something red in the car. I'll go check. We'll be back on New Life Live.
We've been married 33 years. We attended the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop. Even though we've read books or attended a few other marriage weekends, this was certainly different and a lot more intensive than initially that we thought.
When you come to Intimacy and Marriage, you're going to be immersed into a 3-day process.
Was not really sure exactly what to expect, but the idea of learning to really understand intimacy was intriguing. We had been in the same patterns of struggle over and over again.
If you've thought, I don't think we can ever change, we're just in this rut and we can't get out, the Intimacy and Marriage Workshop can help you get out of the rut.
The Intimacy and Marriage Weekend is February 13th to the 15th in Orange County, California. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the code NLL for a discount. 1-800-639-5433.
I would highly recommend it.
Do you need help for life's hard situations?
My husband recently said he wanted a divorce.
I'm confused on what I should do.
I have an eating disorder.
New Life Live answers your questions on relationships, grief, addiction, trauma, anxiety, and much more, all from a biblical perspective with our panel of professional counselors and psychologists.
I learn a lot from your program.
You help so many people.
I appreciate your ministry.
Whether you listen or watch, there are so many ways to connect with us to ask our panel of counselors a question. Call us Monday through Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific at 1-800-229-3000 to ask your question on New Life Live. Or go to newlife.com/radio for other ways to get your question answered.
I'm trying to find help.
I just want to know how to set boundaries.
If it's a sin, what am I supposed to do?
Need a therapist or a coach, a resource, or an intensive? Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Well, look what we found in the studio here. Thank you, Terry. I feel so much better now. Now I kind of match you guys.
We
This is
found
great.
your red. Check it out on YouTube, folks.
Yes. Man, oh man. I feel very festive now. Hey, in this season of giving, the best gift you can give yourself is the gift of healing. And there are many ways that New Life can help you. You can bookmark newlife.com and come back regularly to see the upcoming workshops, courses, and webinars being offered, or to find a New Life recovery group. We've got articles, videos, and podcasts on the site, several resources to meet you right where you're at. Visit newlife.com and start your healing and growth. Let's go to the phones. Here is David in Buffalo, New York, who just found out about New Life Live.
Aww.
Hi there, David. How'd you find out about us?
I'm just driving through Massachusetts, and I came across your station. I said, well, I'm going to call.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
So how can we help you, David?
Well, I'm driving through, and I've got a situation where we're working with a narcissistic mom, and I see it affecting the kids, and I can see the patterns, and I want to know, how do I tell the kids, or if I should not tell the kids, and just kind of help navigate them and the relationship through not saying anything.
How old are the kids, David?
19 and 17.
Are you talking about your mom, David?
No, my wife.
Okay.
And
your wife is the narcissistic mom.
Yes.
And what would you say is one of the worst ways that narcissism presents itself that impacts you and that impacts the kids?
It would be the rage, the manipulation, the flipping the script, the need for them to apologize for her bad behavior. So you have all these things coming together, and you can see, once you see the pattern, I can't not see it anymore. And it's so prevalent, it's just like, I just sit there and go, guys, don't defend, don't explain, don't personalize it. And
well, what does she say to
heated, and
But David, what do you and your wife talk about regarding her behavior? Because that has to impact you as well.
It does. We are seeing a counselor or a therapist. So she's getting work on it, and I'm getting work on what I got to work on. I'm terrible with boundaries, terrible with setting certain things. So I'm working on that aspect of it. But now it doesn't affect me. It kind of shifted to when she's mad at me, the kids are fine. And if she's not mad at me, she seems to she has to pick somebody out. So it's now affecting the kids.
David, and
I want to tell the kids and go, this is what's happening. This is the pattern. Look for it. Don't get mad. And it can go into other relationships other than just these people. It's like toxic people.
Has she been diagnosed with this? And does she recognize this as part of her? Like just
Never
who she
been
is?
diagnosed with it. They're trying to help her. They have... We're separated in our counseling because we couldn't counsel together because it got too hostile. So they split us up. And she's working on what she's got to work on. I'm working on what I got to work on. But like I said, when I brought it up with the counselors, they said, well, don't pit the kids against their mom. And I'm like, I don't want to, but on the same token, these kids are getting, there's stress there, and I don't know how to handle it.
Yeah, they do need an explanation, and they need a roadmap of what do we do about this. Before we give you that, David, did the rage come up after a rupture in relationship, after a problem between you and your wife?
No, it's been constant for many years. And it did calm down a little bit once we went to counseling, because that was the biggest part of it.
Was she like that while you were dating?
Not toward me, but toward her ex or other people. It seems like I was next in line. It was like, okay, once those people left, I was like, well, I'm next in line. So
What do you understand about narcissism, David?
Probably 3 years and 10 months of research.
Okay, so you know that it's born out of a I was gonna say it's born out of a wound, right? Like it's there's this woundedness that they try to fill with other people being their audience or being their subject, so to speak.
Yes.
And so you've done the research, and your biggest question is, how do I help my kids deal with this? I think it's a tricky thing because they've already had to deal with it. This is their mom. And I think I would want to know, how are they responding to you? Like, do they have the ability to identify how they feel when this kind of thing happens with her?
Yes, but then she feels that I'd be pitting them against her. Whenever I explain stuff to them a little bit, she goes, everybody loves your dad. Everybody loves you.
Right. Well, of course, but that just makes her feel, defeated, which is the great role that a lot of narcissists play. But what I'm asking is, what do the kids say to you when you try to be the buffer or try to explain? Are they able to articulate, this affects me this way? I feel sad. I feel mad. I don't know what I feel. That's just mom. Like, what are you hearing from them?
I just see the frustration. I just see them like making closed fists going, ugh. What? Okay, I'll just apologize. Let's move on, Mom. Okay, it's my fault. Whatever happened. And they just do what I used to do.
It's a tough thing to be in relationship with a narcissistic personality. We talk about this on the show from time to time, that there is the difference between someone who actually has the personality disorder or they have features of narcissism. And the challenge when it's apparent is that it's impacting how your kids see themselves, and the frustration and the disconnection that they have with the parent who's supposed to be loving and nurturing, and it's just not happening. One last thing about her is that, does she identify that she is the problem?
A little bit.
In what way?
That's why we're going to. I would say I don't know what the difference between ego dystonic and ego syntonic is, but she had no idea about it. Everything was my fault. Everything's you. And now it's like, okay, let's work on this.
Wow.
We're working on it.
Okay.
So it's
Alice.
I think we make progress that way from it's always me and my fault and everybody else, the whole world, to, all right, I got an anger issue. We're working on that. We're working on, because she knows there's a problem with her relationship with the daughters. Her son is no contact for the last 7 years. So she doesn't want that to happen again with her girls.
It's very hopeful, David, that she's willing enough to be in therapy and she wants better relationship with the kids. So there's a motivation there to tap into and a humility to tap into. I want to liken this to how we advise people to address when there's been an infidelity in a family, because similarly, the kids know, they may not know the details, but they feel the effect of it. And so if the perpetrator is willing to be the one to lead the discussion and lead the confession, it goes so much better. And that perpetrator is less likely to feel attacked. And so if you would praise your wife for her willingness for the work she's done and ask her, can we strategize with the counselor at how we can have a family discussion about this? And David, go strong on, hey, I have not known boundaries. I have not known how to handle this. So I've messed some things up in our relationship. And I want to confess that to my kids. Wife, would you be willing to acknowledge that your anger has been scary at times and my lack of boundaries has not helped? Can we ask the kids how it has affected them? And can we come up with a family strategy? For instance, can we have permission that if I'm not doing boundaries well, you all can gently point it out? If you're starting to get frighteningly angry, can we gently and respectfully point it out? Would you be willing to try to receive that from us? So check first with her and the therapist, strategize, practice, and bring it to the kids. We talk a lot about the comfort circle on our show, David, and it's a structured way of listening that helps us to be non-defensive. And I want you to learn that and use the comfort circle. You can do a comfort circle with an entire family at one time as well. And it helps them to get feelings out without going into accusation mode. And it is so healing to learn how to be humble listeners, and that will serve your family.
All right, so this comfort circle, is that online? I could probably research it.
Oh, you know what?
We're gonna send you a copy of the book that has it in there. Yeah, David, it'll be very helpful to your family, to you too. Sorry, Brian.
No, that's fine.
I'm excited about that.
Me too. It's called Understanding Your Attachment Style. It's new from our friend Mark Cameron, and we're going to send it to you just for calling in today to New Life Live. Something David mentioned was that he's terrible with boundaries. Does that mean you just give up on ever setting boundaries if you're terrible with them? What would you guys say, Becky?
I think, sometimes I think when we set boundaries and we think the other person's going to be okay with them, that makes us terrible at boundaries. But the reality is that sometimes we just have to practice.
Yeah.
And we may not hit it the first time, but maybe the next time or the third time, just keep doing it.
Yep, just keep doing it. We'll be back on New Life Live.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Townsend. The new year is a perfect time to move from intention to action. If you felt a nudge to deepen your leadership, your counseling, or coaching skill set, the Townsend Institute at Concordia University, Irvine can help you move forward. We offer accredited online degree programs in counseling, leadership, executive coaching, and consulting, from certificates to master's to PhD programs. Classes for spring 2026 begin in February with flexible online options designed for busy professionals. If growth is on your list for the year ahead, take a next step today. Sign up for our online information night, Townsend Institute Live, on Wednesday, January 14th. You'll interact directly with our faculty, our staff, and our alumni. You'll get your questions answered, and we'll waive your application fee for attending. So learn more and register at cui.edu/Townsend. I hope to meet you soon. God bless.
For over 35 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addiction, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
I found a counselor through New Life Ministries, and it's just been outstanding.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first steps toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door for a better tomorrow.
To get someone that's competent, that's good at what they do, it's been like day and night compared to what I've had before.
Call 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
And Robert in Plainfield, Illinois, listening on Sirius XM Channel 131. Hello.
Hello. How's it going, guys? How are you?
Great. So nice to hear from you. What's going on?
Nice. It was just a testimony I wanted to share. I've always listened to this family talk radio, but I recently started listening to the New Life and listening to the stories of people and stuff like that, and just kind of connecting with them and their struggles. I had a struggle myself with marijuana addiction my whole life, and I always thought that I could, control it, and I was kind of letting it control me for a while, until I gave my life to Jesus Christ, and I was able to quit cold turkey, which is absolutely incredible.
Wow.
I have no urges, I don't even, it's not even a thought in my mind anymore, which is, it's beautiful. I think it's one of the most incredible things. It's just awesome. So I know that people are struggling with this, and I just thought I would share that so they could hear it, and then maybe it could help them. Everybody's different, and how everyone receives, God and how they interpret it. You know what I mean? But as I started reading Scripture, and as I started opening myself up to the Lord Jesus Christ, my Savior, it's almost like a defense mechanism. It's a weapon against anything, against addictions, against the bad thoughts that I had. It's just something that I've used to change my life and to change my heart.
I love it.
Robert, it's so rare to be able to quit cold turkey, and yet I know, sadly, just a handful of stories. So I'm going to add you to one of the people that I know. It is such a wondrous miracle when God lifts the addiction from you. We want to help you safeguard this good sobriety that you have. Are you also in community to stay in recovery and sobriety?
When you say community, what do you mean by that?
Meeting with other people who are also working on their sobriety.
No, I am not. But I do know I am. There's a few people in my household that are dealing with it, and I've been praying for them, and it's been a difficult conversation kind of with them in regards to it. You know what I mean? And it's just it's very tough. You know what I mean? You kind of get all the, that's your journey. I understand that, and it's you kind of tread lightly with it. You know what I mean? But I kind of want to take my house back. You know what I mean in regards to that. And they have been respecting me, in regards to it. I have seen a change, and I know that came from seeing the change in me, not just me saying it, but them actually seeing the change in me, which is kind of having a domino effect on them, which is I can kind of see a change in them as well, which is, it's very refreshing, and it's just a good thing. It's just a good thing right now that's going on in my life.
It is a good thing, Robert, and it's great because your light is shining. But here's the question about the community. We're real big. If you've listened long enough, we're all about recovery groups, and we want you to get connected with the recovery community. But I also think there's an option if you have, friends that are walking this journey, because quitting is a great thing. It's a great thing. But there's a difference between, being sober and just clean time. And the freedom that you experience from going through recovery can make all the difference in your life. And we want to get you connected with a life recovery group that can make a difference in this journey.
Yeah, and we also want to send you a life recovery devotional just for calling in today to New Life Live. So stay on hold and we'll do that. Great testimony, by the way. And if you missed our show last Thursday, December 18th, go back and look for it on newlife.com or on YouTube. There was another testimony shared. I read a letter from the parents of a man who attended our Every Man's Battle intensive this year, and he noticed a huge change in the life of his son. The family gathered for Thanksgiving, and they could see the change in their son and the way he treated his wife. So they wrote us a note and even enclosed a check to say thank you for the healing work in their son's life. And Becky, this is not an isolated case. So many other families are intact this holiday season because of New Life Ministries.
Yes, matter of fact, Brian, somebody just shared a testimony that their adult son, who also had gone through addiction treatment, because they heard about it on New Life like 20 years ago. And they're celebrating this 20-year sobriety of, just having an intact family, a family that's connected, and their son has experienced walking recovery all these years, and they credit the work from New Life, and that's why they give. And they want to continue to hear godly counsel and wisdom on the radio for so many other people. And that's why we ask you to give, to be part of what God is doing through New Life. And I, of course, want to say thank you in advance. I know if you have not ever given to New Life, we will invite you to do it now. And Brian, how can people give to New Life?
Well, there's many ways. My favorite way is to text the word match to 28950. It's really easy and convenient. Or you can go to newlife.com. We've got a matching gift campaign going on right now as well. So you can go to newlife.com/match, or you can call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. If you go to our website, newlife.com, we've even got a P.O. box in Southern California that we check every day. So you can mail your donation that way as well. Very good. So thank you so much, Robert, for calling in with your testimony. And it is Christmas Eve, and during this Christmas season, we know that there are a lot of hurting people, and we're so glad that we've got so many resources at newlife.com. We've got a daily devotional there, too. And there was one that was written by the founder of New Life Ministries, Steve Arterburn. And in that article, he reminds us that when things are stressful, we can stress less. Well, how? The most basic way is to pray and get into God's Word daily. You might know that one, but are you actually doing it? I mean, that's just the way it is. It's like, yeah, I know I need to get into my Bible. Well, how long has it been? A few weeks? No, get into it. It's New Year or Christmas Eve, so start with the nativity story. That's a great place to start.
Yeah, and you know what, though, Brian, even just thinking about the nativity is the waiting that went into the story. We've been going through Advent leading up to Christmas Eve, and thinking about the journey that we have in life. We have heard from so many people who are praying for different relationships, yet there's a waiting period. But I just want to remind you, if that's where you find yourself today, know that God hears your prayers.
Yep.
He hears your prayers. And even in the waiting, God is present with you. And so I just, that encouragement on this Christmas Eve can, just assure people that God is present with them.
Yep. Psalm 34, I sought the Lord, and he answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. So if you find yourself brokenhearted or crushed in spirit, turn to the Lord. And then there's also, self-care. Running yourself ragged while searching for the perfect gift or the perfect dress for the party or perfect recipe is a recipe for disaster. But self-care is so important. And when you feel overwhelmed, take a break. Go for a walk, even in the snow, maybe especially in the snow. Listen to some worship music, even some Christmas worship music. After all, Jesus is the reason for the season, right? Put down the phone, look up at the person next to you. Alice was talking about at the beginning of the show. Yeah, she can go on and on. Unfortunately, we only have about 45 seconds. But go back and listen to today's program at the beginning, and if you missed it, because she's got a lot of tips there on putting down the phone and looking up talking to
And
me.
I think about Bing Crosby, who sang so many years ago, if you have trouble going to sleep, count your blessings, because that can also be something that we can do on this Christmas Eve.
Yes.
Is thank God for how he has shown up in our lives.
Yes, indeed. Well, we are very grateful for you guys listening and watching today. I'm grateful for these two ladies here with me, Becky Brown and Dr. Alice Benton. Merry Christmas to you and yours, and we will talk again tomorrow on Christmas Day, the Christmas Day edition of New Life Live. God bless you guys. Have a great one. And remember, count your blessings.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.